You are this is what I hope I look like when people come into the studio and it's us doing this. I know it doesn't look this smooth. I know it doesn't.
Well, I appreciate that, Bob. Thanks.
John, am I right? Is he?
Yeah,
very
most
smooth. I mean,
he's ever said to me.
Because we sit here, the three of us sit here in between breaks and. Basically, it's like they turn the mics off and then Borna turns back on, but he keeps everything on time.
You guys on track.
He wakes us up.
I enjoy these stories. I enjoy John's stories. Those are great stories.
You'll get the. We're on in 10 seconds. What? Oh, okay, yeah. So again, good to see you too. By the way, we don't cross paths that often.
You don't?
No. Happy to be part of it.
We don't hang. We don't.
No, we have a whole midday person in between.
Tom, I've never seen Brian in the afternoon until he dropped the cans off. That was for the auction last week or 2 weeks ago.
The cans are up at $400, so that's just dandy.
Does he look different in the afternoon?
No, look the same.
He's happier.
Does he look the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's much happier. Maybe he's just happier because you're here. You know, you bring you put a smile on people's faces, John.
We're brothers.
I'm Mr. Consistent, John. I'm
Jon McGlocklin in with us for the last couple hours of the Radiothon. It's gotten to be a thing over the last 10 years or so. At least 10 years, yeah.
And all of them were in except for two during COVID.
And you've stopped out at the golf outing periodically over the years too to just say hi to people.
Yep.
You have no interest really in seeing us, which is fine.
No.
I understand.
Well, you guys are big shots there, so you kind of like, is that McLaughlin? I mean, but you know, every time I've ever been there, and I've told you guys this many times, I'm impressed and inspired by the variety of people that play in that golf outing. What I mean by backgrounds, genders, you know, everything.
Everybody's
it's
there.
Wonderful,
everybody's
man.
there, right?
Everybody comes together, and then after I've been on every year with you for this, people stop me, all different types of people, and that listen and pay attention to not just this day, but you guys, and it's stunning to me, and. You were the right after. Remember the years with Reitman and Miller? They were a similar radio show to you guys before you guys, and you know I don't recall when they stepped down.
They were nicer than us, probably.
Well, no.
Nah, we say some pretty snarky things, John.
No, you guys are great. But I always told them this when I went on, and I've told you guys, they did what you did, and this is a compliment. They would ask me things way off the main road, you know, just fun things, but ask me things that aren't the typical questions. And that's what I loved about them and about you guys. And it makes it interesting for me because I like the questions that always aren't down the middle.
Well, it's very kind of you. But I'm going to interrupt your kindness to encourage people in these last 21 minutes or so that we have to go in the Radiothon to get on your phone. The number is, the Next Electric phone number is 414-978-9500 and make your donation. Whether you do it for the T-shirt, whether you're going to bid on something, an auction item, or if you just want to make a donation to the MACC Fund because you want to push this thing. Well, we all want to push it up as high as we can, but you come in every year and you're like, how much are we going to move this thing up? We're going to get this much money this year. And you're always like,
a push.
You won't be stopped.
No, and by the way, I do get a lot of people also that will come up and talk about these last 2 hours and the goals that we set. Now, you've blown away our $50,000 goal, so what we're going to give you right now for 20 minutes, can we make it to $55,000? I know you can, and I know a lot of you
I know
wait.
You're not thinking $55,000. You're thinking more like $65,000.
Well, that'd be
That's
great.
what you're thinking in the last 21 minutes.
It goes to help save kids' lives and save families, so it's pretty serious.
And again, this money stays right here. It goes to...
Medical College of Wisconsin, Cancer Center Research, Carbone Cancer Center in Madison Research, and some goes to Marshfield Clinic for research. It's all research oriented, and that's what we started from the very beginning 50 years ago, and that's why these positive results, and Dr. Flood, I'm sure, talked about it. I've talked about it. Without research, there's no progress.
She talked about how because of the research, they were now able to sort of tailor treatments specifically to individual patients better now than they could in the past. And I asked her if cancers were that different from one person to another, and she said more than she at first realized.
Wow.
It was their cancer is. That's why it's so tough.
It is tough that way because it can vary and be different. And you know, I've learned things about the research also over the years and how they've changed. And way back in the beginning, I was told by Dr. Don Pinkel, who came here and started the Midwest Children's Cancer Center research section. And that time they didn't even have their own facility, and they were down at the old Children's Hospital on Wisconsin Avenue down near Marquette. And he said, first of all, John, having the MACC Fund helps us recruit talent, because there are people that, you know, are better at this and better at that. And it's like athletics. The great players will get recruited by, you know, the great schools, and most players want to go where the facilities are good, the people are good, so they can win. Same thing with researchers and doctors. They want to go where there's you know, good everything in those areas. Well, the MACC Fund helps pay for that. Yeah. So that means here, and I've heard Dr. Margolis talk about this and Dr. Pinkel before him, we can go out because we've got a MACC Fund, a community-based organization, not built on what the government will or won't do that year, help us pay these people and go get the good people that can do the research and tailor these treatments to these kids. And what they've tried to do is make it less invasive, you know, over the years, because it was very invasive at one time and difficult. They're trying to improve that as they improve the results.
Right, and the more specific you can make the treatment, then, right, the invasive part cuts down, because instead of, well, basically poisoning everything, you can just
surgically
hit the one spot with the heavy duty treatment.
And they do it, you know, in different ways. Some with, you know, oral, some not oral, and many ways. But it's something that you don't want anybody as a parent or grandparent to have to go through.
In 1976, when you started this, we talk about this every year, but it bears repeating. When you started this, the survival rate for cancer for kids was
20%.
20%.
Mm-hmm.
That is flipped.
Yeah, it's in the 80s.
80s now, 80%.
Yeah. And some cancers are more treatable than others. Like with leukemia, there's acute lymphocytic and there's myelogenous. Myelogenous is much more difficult and to have better results than acute lymphocytic. And it has to do with the shape of the cells. And, you know, I can't get into that. That's way out over my head. But it has to do with all those things. So they have to tailor these things when they research and when they put the programs together to fight it. It's very complex.
And in order to keep this thing running efficiently and as effectively as it is, and you have all these brilliant minds, and in order to help out those brilliant minds and put their ideas into motion, it takes money. It all comes down to it takes money to keep, you have to feed the beast.
Correct.
To keep this thing going. And that's really what this is. We are feeding the beast.
And the MACC Fund is... there's only one other organization I know like this in the United States, and it's the Jimmy Fund that started in 1948 in Boston. And the Jimmy Fund is still there, is still functioning. And 2 different times, myself, a board member, and a staff member, John Kerry, we went out and met with them and talked to them about how they did it, what they've done, and they've got many more potential fundraising resources out there in Northeast because of the national organizations, businesses that are there, and they're bigger
chunk
money.
of the population is out there too.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. But they complimented us way back even then about what we had accomplished in a short period of time. But as long as children are still getting cancer and passing away, we're not there, man. We've accomplished, but not enough.
You can just donate. You can just donate 414-978-9500.
Yeah, you can go check out everything online, too. Just go to 1029thehog.com. Check everything out there. See what the high bid is. I know how this works. We were just talking about it off the air. I said to John, every year people are going to sit. They're going to wait until the last 5 minutes, and they are going to. It's like you're a sniper. You're just going to.
You got to pick the one off.
Right. You got to wait till the right moment and get your bid in and get this. So I have faith that we're going to hit your number. I do.
15 minutes.
I really do. We have 15 minutes.
I do too.
So you can take care of that. Again, the next electric phone number is 414-978-9500. The website is up until 5 o'clock. But unfortunately, like Brian said earlier, it's not like the old days where you had two people on the phone going, okay, we got somebody here. Now it's a cold-hearted computer system.
It is different. So I always go in the room where we have the MACC Fund staff, and they were in the past manning phones, and we had every staff member down here.
It's changed over the years quite a bit.
Yeah. And it's easier that way, but that was a lot of fun too, having everybody together.
It was a lot louder. Is that a word? More loud? Louder?
More
I'll
louder.
give you louder.
Than it is now. So again, the number 414-978-9500. That's the next electric phone number. Or you can just go to the website. Like Brian said, you can just call and make your donation.
Make it.
You know, you don't have to get something for it. You know, you could. You know, if you want that quarter beef, you want the half beef. You know, by all means.
But with donations over, what is it, Borna? 50.
Donations of 50 with the shirt.
get the
Yep.
shirt.
Yeah.
So-
$50 get you the shirt.
Yeah.
But
Red
you
shirt.
can
This
just
is nice.
donate. You can just donate.
So you got a few minutes. You have 13, 14 minutes to. We have to do this. We'll be back with Jon McGlocklin on the Bob and Brian MACC Fund Radiothon on the Hog.
Help give the gift of hope to a child. It's the Bob and Brian Radiothon to benefit the MACC Fund. Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer.